honestly, I don't know if I need to use the gavel for this or not.
It's uncomfortable the first time you do it, then.
Just let it rip.
Thank
So
you.
nail
Thank
it.
you.
Nail it. Yeah, you got to do it.
Okay.
Just don't be a whip.
I call to order the Community Development Agency. Ms. Rakowski, could you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Thompson,
Here.
Councilman Tony Brown,
Here.
Councilman Hart.
Here.
You do have a quorum, Madam Vice Mayor. I'm not sure where
You just
Councilman
can't
Bobby Brown
disagree
is.
on anything today.
Yeah. Three,
I do have a comment card?
no, you have no comment cards.
No comment. Okay, Ms. Rakowski?
Yes, Madam Mayor, so I have no comments, public comment at this time. We do have an amendment request to the application for our facade grant. You do have the facade grant in your packet. It is an amendment on several different properties that were submitted by Ms. Nelson in the total amount of $814.50. And all of those have been provided to you for any kind of comments, questions, and we do have the applicant here as well as our Heritage Commission, which did recommend approval of the changes at their last meeting.
Okay, would you care to make a comment?
So if there's any questions
Any
or
questions?
that you have for the applicant, she is here to answer
Oh,
those.
no,
If
I
not, then we would have request a
okay.
motion to either,
Thank you.
Maybe it would help if they could explain why there's 3 million. And then we'll see what questions you have.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe, is it okay that I approach?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That's supposed to be.
Please do. Thank you.
Good evening, thank you. So we have actually 2 businesses this evening that I want to discuss with you. But since Karen Nelson is here, I'd like to get that one done so she has the opportunity to leave. So in Karen Nelson's application, she has several business office buildings, and most of this pertains to the alley side of the businesses. So initially, she wanted to do awnings on the doors of the back to match the front. And so she's changing that and wants to do a metal structure, and if it's okay, I can show you kind of a picture. Can I come up?
Sure? Oh,
Okay.
by all means.
All right. So this is basically what they would be wanting to do, this kind of a metal
Mhm.
roof. But it would cover both of these businesses. Can you see that one,
Mhm.
Tony? Okay.
And that's to go on in the back,
Right, and it's on the.
the barber
alley-
shop,
Right, it's on
healthy
the alley
living.
side.
Right, right.
the lawyer, all that.
Right, the other change that she wanted to make, initially, they were gonna do, I believe it was like a PVC type of white fencing, and now they're changing that, and I'll show you, again, if I come up,
By all means.
that they are changing it to a wood fence,
Like a cedar fence.
right,
Mhm.
okay? And these changes, you see this too?
I got it right here.
Oh, got it.
I was
Yeah,
going to
it
ask you if
was in
that's
the
what.
packet.
and
Yeah.
all these have been provided to you in your packets.
I saw them.
Okay, I didn't know.
So is what's
That's okay, that's okay.
Okay,
I didn't see
so, it's really those 2 items, and the differences in price is the 800 and, let me see.
The total amount is $814.50 for all the improvements that you've seen in your packets.
Right, additional,
Technically, those probably don't follow the design guidelines because of the use of the materials. However, they catch the spirit of the 1920s, so I would be in favor of them from a design standpoint.
and that's how the Heritage Commission looked at it also.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to carefully balance, not being in a historic district, but wanting to keep the improvements aesthetically pleasing, at the same time making it easy for businesses to basically fit into the guidelines.
And the use of modern materials is actually encouraged under
Right,
circumstances
and
like this.
it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So these 2 changes we have approved, and we would hope that you could approve, but I wanted to bring those to your attention. And if you had any questions of Karen, she's here, she's been more than cooperative, in everything with regards to paint colors. She's actually asked me to come down. I've gone out to the site with her and looked at all these things with the materials. And so she's doing everything she can and more to comply.
I move we approve the changes in the aggregate, not by individual, named by the group, in an amount not to exceed 800 and what was it?
$14.
$814 and some change. $815, that's my motion.
I'll second for discussion, because I had some questions. The fencing, you're still doing the fencing, or you're not doing the fencing?
Yes.
Okay, where is that gonna be
The
located?
fence is going to be located, let me show you. I have a picture, I thought you.
I've got it, but it doesn't really,
Oh, well,
I just
my
got pictures
version
of,
shows exactly, because we wrote all over it. So the fence would be hiding the air conditioning units, it would go here, in the alley.
okay,
So just so you can see, Ms. Thompson. See, it goes to hide all of the mechanicals, if you
Right.
will.
Okay.
Okay?
the only concern I have is, I like the idea of hiding all that stuff, but unfortunately, we've had some people that like to sleep behind businesses and stuff, and is that gonna be a problem from them hiding?
I don't
mean,
know,
with-
is it? I
Well,
would have
I'm
no
asking,
idea.
because where my office is, and you know where my office is, I've had them sleeping across the street, I've had them sleeping by the bank, I've had them sleeping behind the pizza place. And when we put a barrier up like that, and I remember back, I don't know if it was a year or so ago, the sheriff's department was here trying to tell us how to set up our homes and don't put high bushes and don't put fences up where you're going up to a door, because somebody can be hiding behind there. That's my concern with that. It's 4 foot, right?
So if I may address that, then we've had conversations with our community affairs officer, and he has done, he's in the middle actually of doing a survey, an asset survey of what we can do from a safeties perspective. The rule of thumb is nothing over 4 feet, or actually it's quite literally, it's 2 feet, and nothing under 6 feet. So that 2 to 6 feet from a safety standpoint should remain clear. However, we do have dumpster screenings and things of that nature that is required within our code. So it would be a safety aspect, but one that each individual property owner and business owner would need to take precautions on how they enter and exit their facility. I will put a plug in for the sheriff's office, as we do have fantastic sheriff partnership with camera systems and things of that nature. But yes, that is, from a city's standpoint, we are working for nothing over 2 feet and nothing under 6 feet for visibility on all of our entrances, exits of all of our parks and facilities.
I have a question. Are there security cameras currently behind the business? Are there?
Karen, you want to come out and you can probably best answer most of these
There's
questions.
no security cameras in the back. Some of the businesses have.
Would you mind speaking to the mic?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Karen Nelson. There's no securities currently in the back. But what I've wanted to approach the council with, and I think I have Mr. Brown in the past, there's no street lighting on that alley that illuminates into the backside of that one building. In the wintertime, when it's dark at 5:30, it is pitch dark, because the only street light is near the gas station. And then there's one on the other side of the Ace Gibson Guns in the back. I'm talking about the back alley. There's nothing in between. So I was wanting to propose a street light. There's plenty of poles back there that one can be put on. City property, where the parking lot is and where the light poles are. So that would help. That would help.
Is there one there on that, by Alfie's, the one right there on the corner that got hit that time? I'll ride by there tonight.
Yeah, I
If
think
you
there
put-
is, but you have to go by there at dark,
Mhm.
because I think it shines the other direction. There is some on each end, but there's nothing in the middle. Now, all the businesses are gonna have lights at their doors, like when they come out, there's the solar light for
Right,
their,
right.
when they exit and it's dark, the light will come on. So that is, and that's part of their proposal, is the
How
solar,
would
solar lights at each door. That's gonna have a covering over it.
How would a homeless person gain access to this? Are you gonna have gates so that service people can open a gate and go in, or is it your access going to be through the building itself?
No, there's gonna be an opening between, where nutrition retreat is and healthy living. There'll probably be a 4-foot opening there, because they're gonna have the double covering over their back doors, because it's kind of adjacent now. So there'll be that one opening, and then there'll probably be, I think, 20 feet to the barber shop. It's not gonna like be attached to the building, it's just gonna be
Just gonna be
freestanding in the yard.
It's like
Just a
a
barrier.
privacy fence
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
AC units.
Yeah.
It's not, the
Yeah.
AC units are here.
And I've talked with the guy that's gonna do it, and, about making it not solid. We could have it, with a couple inches
Mhm.
of spacing through it. You've seen those. I'm not sure what the picture shows, but that's something we can do.
Could you put down some coarse gravel back there instead of grass or dirt to discourage people? I mean, I wouldn't want to sleep next to an air conditioner, but if I was so inclined, but if it was real rocky and bumpy,
Yeah.
would that perhaps solve the problem? Or at least address the
It
issue?
could, certainly, yes. But the one section behind the attorney's office, there's 2 air conditioners, I think, there. That is on a concrete slab
Mhm.
already.
Okay.
So, but that's where the park bench was going. So there would be a park bench there too.
Okay.
So I've never seen,
Do we have a lot of homeless
Yeah,
people
I've never
sleeping
seen
behind the alley
anybody-
right now?
Apparently we do.
Oh,
I mean, we have homeless people around the city sleeping.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen anybody back there, and every time I'm in town or coming back from church or whatever at night, I always ride around.
We've recently had reports of individuals sleeping in the Dunkin' Donuts dumpster,
In the dumpster?
so in their screening area. So
Oh.
we've had some conversations with Dunkin' Donuts of making sure that their screened area is locked because of that. So yes, to answer your question, we do have, we do have individuals that are finding places to sleep.
This design contemplates a solid wall. Would it be possible to design it every other board, so you've got
that's
basically?
what Karen was,
Is
that's
that,
what Karen was saying,
is
that
it-
she can
okay.
structure it so that,
there's a
okay,
little-
so we can
There's a
actually see
little-
back in there,
Yeah.
law enforcement can see if
Yeah.
there's somebody back there, yeah.
you know,
That would, I think, be a good idea.
you could have a
too.
board and then a few inches
An
in
opening,
that
yeah.
board.
Right.
So if
you know,
there's
and that
movement, you can see it.
more see-through,
Yes,
Bob?
absolutely.
but still serve the purpose,
Yes,
which is to hide the mechanics.
yeah.
Mhm.
And you're still doing, all right, the other picture you showed us was the overhang by the doors,
Yes.
right
The roof.
behind it, the roof part. Now, is that individually doors, or you showed
No, it's
all the
not.
way across?
It's gonna go across.
Well, currently, the barber shop and the attorney's office has no back door cover.
Right, right.
So those would be new. But Nutrition Retreat and Healthy Living has an old wood awning or wood covering with tin on it. So that would be replaced and upgraded to, because it's existing. So we're gonna match the other 2 with the same style.
So, is this what,
That's just an example
that's
of
an
what's-
example, but that's kind of what
Yeah,
you,
But
okay.
Nutrition
All right.
Retreat and Healthy Living will have one, almost like a walkway.
Mhm.
And so it's gonna look real nice.
How will the fence be finished? Are you gonna leave it natural? I can't tell if that's cedar or what it is, but are you gonna be painting it to match the buildings, or?
We could, I've envisioned it as being natural, like a stain or
Okay.
something. But it could be painted,
I'm just curious, 'cause
yeah. Thank you.
Did you have
There needs to be a motion to move on this, either.
I've made the motion, it's been seconded for
Motion to
discussion.
approve, and then there was a second for discussion.
I'll call the question.
So if there's no other discussion, you can ask for a vote.
All in
And you can
favor?
call for a vote.
Would you like me to restate my motion?
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby wasn't here.
The motion is to approve the application to increase the grant amount for the improvements behind the buildings owned by Karen Nelson by approximately $815, adopting in a general way, the photographs that appear in our packet. I believe the motion was seconded by Mr. Brown, Mr. Tony Brown.
Did you hear that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Okay.
4-0. Motion passes.
Okay, I'd like to now discuss 156 South Lawrence, which is known as the locker room.
Yeah,
So
that looks good.
we approved the locker room. And if you remember, I brought together not just the application form, the cost of the project was $17,900, and the funding request was for $5,000. And then Heritage Design Review made recommendations regarding the applicant's request for paint, certain colors, and then we approve based on what they give us. So if you recall, the approval was for Casablanca and Livable Green, and it's now baby blue. So I don't know where the disconnect is, and it certainly looks cute. It's just, it's really up to the CRA board to decide, did we go off the rails here? Or kind of what happened?
Well, I think your design guidelines require that they follow or use a certain palette by two different paint makers, and if that's not included in the palette, they're outside the scope of
There's
the
no
grant,
baby
and
blue in
I would
there.
say the grant should be held up until they remedy that. That would be my suggestion.
Well, that's, I'm just bringing it to your attention. If you go by, you see it's really cute, but it does not meet any of these colors, which was,
Well, the last time
I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
the last time they did improvements to that building with grant money, they turned it into a Western theme, which of course was completely off base. And I think now's the time to get it back in line. So my suggestion would be that the grant monies not be dispersed until that is remedied.
So they have submitted for payment and they're under evaluation for compliance now. With the discrepancies will be brought forward once all of that's taken care of,
Okay.
so we can lay that in front of the agency.
So it's not going to slip through the cracks?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.
And some other streetscape. We have streetscape CRA workshop to, it's also
Yeah.
Oh. Did I adjourn too quickly?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Did you reconvene?
Yes.
Meeting is reconvened. Ms. Rakowski, the streetscape?
Yes. Madam Vice Mayor, that's all right, that's why we're rocking along with the agency meeting. It was requested to be placed on the agenda by our mayor for the streetscape and from the CRA workshop. There was conversations on the remainder of the just shy of $23,000 that was in the facade grant. And what to do with that money. I've had questions from various members of the agency on rolling that into the streetscape project, if that's with the will, or if we reopen that for conversation. And then the other point is the CRA workshop. I will be requesting dates and times so that we can do a streetscape workshop on how we can move forward with the budgeted money.
Any discussion?
I think we need, whatever we've got left, we need to roll into the streetscapes. It's been a couple years since we've done anything, so we need to get that back on the plan.
Yeah, I think we've already, as a matter of priority, said the hardscape will come first. And if that's covered, then this can be rolled over into landscaping, flowers, plants, whatever. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Brown.
Can we vote on that?
Motion.
All
We
in
need,
favor?
we need to make a motion.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we roll what's remaining, into the streetscapes project.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it.
And then I'll be sending out dates and times for an agency workshop for the middle of next month.
Okay.
Christine, the dates that you had sent us out,
I can't hear you, sir, I'm sorry.
the dates that you had sent out,
That's going to be for next meeting. That's for our council meeting.
there were 3 different dates and 6.
Yes, that's going to be handled on the council meeting agenda. So that's for the workshop that we had to postpone due to funerals last week, or the week before last.
Mhm.
So,
My internet is crazy right now. I don't know if you've got my response or not, so.
yes, we'll talk about that at the next
I'll
meeting.
talk with you later.
Okay,
I'm serious now.
you're
This
serious
meeting
now.
is
You can
adjourned.
adjourn the
I'm
meeting.
serious.
Just in time for the next one.